welcome to another episode of the playonultra podcast. This is episode 97.
Woo!
Yay!
I'll be excited for this one.
Yeah, as usual, it's me, the person who talks first, Pupunoob. Always joined by Sarahscopic and Foehamner.
Woo!
We have somebody else this week. Say
That's
hello
right.
to
That's
R2Deepu.
my main qualification. Oh, what's up? Hey, this is R2Deepu. Sorry to cut you off there. Yeah,
No problem.
someone
R2.
else. My main qualification. So I'm glad for the proper introduction there. Thank you.
So, tell us, R2Deepu, what is it that you do? Like, what content you make?
Okay, content I make, you can, everything's under the Geeks of New York handle, so we have a podcast, and then on the YouTube page, I post edited down monologues that I do on Twitch Creative. So I'm a stand-up comic by trade in New York City, so
cool.
but I've been lurker on Twitch for, since like Justin TV, and like a couple of years ago, I just started like getting into broadcasting and more recently, I kind of got all the equipment I needed, and I've just been like going, just boot up the stream, do interactive comedy monologues on Twitch. So that's kind of like
So you do live shows,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I do live stand-up comedy with actual people there, and then I come home and then I talk to a smaller group of people on Twitch.
So
but it's you would think that
when I search your name, R2Deepu, the first Google autocomplete is R2 Deep Throat.
Oh no!
Really?
I am not even fucking kidding.
I'm so
So
sorry.
do you wanna tell us about that?
Well, I mean,
Side
first
job?
of all, so I go by Deepu, that's my name, and the deep puns have followed me my whole life. Deep throat, deep blue sea, Deepu gate. Whenever I do something wrong, it's Deepu gate, like Watergate.
That's not that creative.
I was gonna say this is weird.
You're right. The Deepu gate was a bad example. I ran out of good examples because I'm blanking right now. But yeah.
I mean, they're all unfortunate examples, to be sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I kind of like it, and R2Deepu is just that's like my favorite. Ever since I realized like I thought of that Twitter idea, like I literally jumped at it. Like I think I was lying down. I was like, wait, and I just went to see on Twitter, did anyone take it? And no one took it, and I was so fucking happy because my Twitter handle before that was a parody of the company, the Home Depot, and that was the Home
nice.
Depot. It was retarded. Sorry, language. Sorry, language. What's the profanity permissions on this particular show?
We never discussed it, actually.
Yeah, really, yeah. I'm like the only one
Okay.
that swears.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Shores is the F word every 5 seconds.
But I use
But
it
that's
to
like that's like the biggest
express-
cliche. Yeah, that's like the biggest cliche to curse and then to ask is cursing okay?
Right.
That is podcast etiquette 101.
We
I
have
only
people
use
from
it
other
to,
countries where they have different, levels of different words mean different severities. So it's
Yeah, I
hard
bet
to
like in
fully
Kuala
say.
Lumpur, cursing is fine, just like in daily
Yeah.
life.
Daily life is fine. Daily
Australians
life,
with moms.
we have our own like colloquial stuff, and like we mix all the Malay, English, and Chinese with like some Tamil words. And so basically,
Sounds lovely. Sounds
everybody in
delicious.
Malaysia knows how to curse in pretty much 4 languages. Even if they don't speak the language, they know how to curse. At least in Tamil and Cantonese.
You have to know when you're being sworn at.
Yeah.
It's true. It's very important.
That's a good question. What is our swearing levels? I only use it when I'm pissed off at a game company or I'm really excited for a game. That's like literally it.
Yeah,
So,
so it never gets too personal with the slurs
yeah,
or anything.
yeah.
Okay, well that's good. I'm glad I'm in good company, I guess.
So
Yeah, if you guys were like, we keep it pretty, keep it clean here, I would just be in Deepu hangs out in with family mode.
Exactly.
I was just, you guys just be my cousins all of a sudden. But yeah, so that's cool. I've been aggressive with the talking there. I can step back.
You're fine.
No? Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine.
No.
I want to respect. This
this
is your
where
place.
we just talk. So what
It's
did
pretty
you guys
freeform.
do this week?
For example,
Watch
I
out.
once again did
Andromeda?
I did a little bit Andromeda, because actually, cool thing I found out. So like, Origin gets a lot of crap, and I totally understand why. But this is
You mean
one
Dragon
thing
Age
that
Origins?
No,
No.
like the not Steam origin, like the
Yeah.
hosting
Oh,
platform.
right,
for,
right.
Yeah. They get a lot of crap for lots of different reasons, and I understand. But one thing they actually did right is how to handle multiple accounts on the same computer.
Oh, interesting.
Because it works really easily. So,
how?
Yeah, so basically, because all saves are cloud synced. So my brother's a computer here, and he has his own Origins account, and I have my own Origins account. And basically the only rule is you both have to have bought the game. So, we each bought Mass Effect Andromeda. So if I wanted to play my game, which I was able to this week, I just had to log in on my account, and the cloud save synced automatically. And so basically you just have to make sure before you log out that the cloud sync with your saves, and they always tell you. And I'm gonna be all set once I go back to my apartment. So
Is Steam not like that?
Steam, not really.
It depends on the game.
It depends on the game. I've had a lot of issues with Steam because
because not all game has cloud sync. Is that it?
Not all games have cloud
right.
sync, and the main issue is that games that do have cloud sync, as we discovered, they have a tendency to save over games. And so, for my viewers who don't know, there was a time when I first started YouTube, I didn't have my own desktop. I was doing all my work on my poor, at the time, 6-year-old laptop. And so for other games and bigger recording things, I had to borrow a desktop. And both my brother and I have Steam accounts, and we found out the hard way that if you're not careful, certain saves could be overdone without really... Yeah, it's pretty...
How do you even do that? It's like 2 separate accounts.
Yeah, it's...
I think it's because they have a local save and they use that to synchronize it probably.
They do, yeah. That's pretty much what happens. And so we're now more careful and we know how it kind of works, and so we've been pretty careful with it. I mean, we haven't really had to worry about that since I now do have my own desktop computer.
Since we're talking shit about Steam and how they handle crap, right?
Yeah.
You guys know
We're getting some
Praey.
profanity right now.
Yeah, Praey the game is came out, right?
Yes.
So Praey...
Praey
This
the
is
Game
not the
Boy.
first game named Praey, right? There was a 2006 game also called Praey. This is supposed to be like a spiritual sequel, but it's actually System Shock 3, whatever, right?
I didn't know
If
that.
you have the 2006 Praey installed, Steam will say you already have the new one installed.
Oh, wow.
What? No, that's madness.
That's such an obvious thing. There can't... Oh, wait, I refuse to believe that Prey is the only game on Steam with a name collision. Like, there has to be at
Same
least
here.
one other game that has
Sure,
two
yeah, right.
examples.
Exactly.
I wonder
What?
how they. Is it like Twitter? Like when you're on Steam, you like type in the name of your game. You're like, no, that's already taken. Okay, there's something else. Like
Right? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
that's such a simple oversight.
They would get sequels wrong all the time.
I would also expect it to be fixed.
How
by
does
the
Tomb
time we're
Raider
talking
works?
about it.
How does Tomb Raider
does-
work?
How
The
did they get
2013 Tomb
Batman
Raider is
in?
just Tomb Raider, right?
I don't
Steam is so fucked up, it just
know.
plays the movie because it's so confused.
Right? Yeah. How does anything with Telltale in the title work? Anyway, so the point is that I did do a little bit more of Andromeda. Still enjoying it. Still taking a while to finish it. It's not going to be done in a while. But I also got to try Breath of the Wild for a little bit.
Yay.
The 7 out of
So-
10 game.
I mean, okay. So here's the thing. Number one issue with the Switch, or I don't know if this is just with Breath of the Wild or a Switch in general. But you have to, if you want another save account, you have to make like another account through the Switch.
Yeah.
Because I'm borrowing.
Because Breath of the
my-
Wild there's only one slot, right?
Yeah. Well, there's only like one big game. You can save multiple times, but like when I pressed new game, it said okay, save over a previous save.
Yes.
Which is kind of weird because there are auto saves and multiple save files. So I don't understand why it did that. But
And
anyway,
this is why Nintendo wants you to pay for their online service. They need to actually hire people with that money to know what they're doing. That's literally it. They really need that money.
Doesn't it
Yeah.
depend on how big your SD card is in your Switch? Like, couldn't you just have more saves with a bigger card? Or?
Well, I don't really
It's
know,
more
like,
of because
question.
Switch doesn't know how to handle accounts.
Ah,
So literally,
yeah.
you have to open up another account to play the game
Yeah.
to have your own separate save. And if
That's
you
what
want to
I
play,
noticed.
if you want, and
okay.
like if your brother Sarah wants to play, he has to switch back to his account, pretty much, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because
So-
Nintendo.
Yeah, because Nintendo. So anyway, so I had to like go on to a save. So I had no idea what I was doing. It was not a start of a game or anything like that. So I just kind of was walking around trying to kill things. There were a lot of high level things, and so I couldn't really deal with those very well. it plays pretty. It's weird. I've never played with the Switch before, so this is also my first time with the Switch, and I played.
Oh, you're so behind. Jesus.
I know, right? Oh gosh. So I played it with the controller attached to the screen, and it worked out. I can't imagine anyone with large hands having a good time with it. I have tiny hands. So that's why I have a show called Baby Hands, because my brother and I have tiny hands. Real thing. But I don't understand how anyone who...
I've heard complaints. Yeah. I've heard complaints that the controller is just too small.
Yeah. Because it's my boyfriend's Switch, and he's 6'4". I don't know how he plays it. So,
That's why
go ahead.
Sorry.
My co-host on Geeks in New York is like 400 pounds, and when he's holding the Switch controllers, it looks like he's hiding them from me, and he's like, pick one. Blue one. I hope it's that one.
But that's pretty funny. So that's just one thing I thought that was kind of funny. But otherwise, the only other complaint I really have, which Nintendo, I mean, I love the 3DS, but I've always had complaints on how they do some of their buttons. The plus and minus button are kind of weird. They're at the top near the top of the controller, and it's actually a plus and a minus. It's not the minus buttons, especially. Like, I have nails, so it's easier for me to click on. But I don't know about anybody else.
Nintendo has been fucking up buttons since the GameCube.
It's true.
They just sometimes it really works for certain games. Cause like I remember in Resident Evil 4, I loved that like the shooting button was the big green button. And sometimes it just really synchronizes that way. But then other times you're just like, this makes no goddamn sense. Why does one side of the controller have 2 triggers and your other side has 1? You know, C-stick? Some lazy-ass joystick? You know,
it's a nipple.
It's crazy. It's a nipple. Yeah, dude, oh my god, it is a nipple. Holy shit. That game really does train you for real life. I never really thought about that. That's great.
Alright.
And isn't the new... I'm not sure.
Guys have nipples too,
3DS
Sarah.
or new 3DS XL, the off button, you can accidentally press it because like at the bottom or some shit?
Oh, I hate it so much. I've done it so many times. It's ridiculous. That's one of the changes from the... Because I got the new 3DS XL, and that was one of the new changes they did that I was so mad about. I was like, why did you put the off button on the side? Oh, it made me so mad. So, but anyway, other than that, it's natural-wise, it wasn't a bad grip. Playing Breath of the Wild, I mean, the problem is that, like, I didn't really know what I was doing, so it was almost...
That's the whole point of the game.
Yeah, it's just a lot of walking around. And I mean, I figured out some stuff. Some of the controls, I'm sure, like, once I got used to it, would be fine. But they made the jump oh gosh, I never remember. X is alright. X is in a different position in every controller. Why? Anyway, the X button, which is the top button, is jump, which I'm not used to. And so that was weird at first, because I'm usually used to whatever is the bottom of the quadrant. But that's a lot of games do that. So some of the controls at first it was kind of weird, but actually after a while, like when I was doing fights with a couple of monsters, it was pretty natural. They have a targeting system, which unfortunately is kind of due to whatever you're looking at, so it's really easy to get mixed up, but it works pretty well. It looks really pretty, and the actual like walking around and climbing things works out pretty naturally. So like that seems cool, but I haven't really done much else, so I can't really say whether it's a 7 out of 10 game or not. I just want to go back to Mass Effect, but that's a different story.
Nice.
So, that's all.
My coworker trying to sell me on a Switch this week because I learned to there's only 2 games, right? There's only like the Hodgepodge game and Zelda, but actually
you mean the Gorilla game, right?
Yeah, of course, the Gorilla game with its attendees.
We're not gonna talk about the Gorilla game.
But it has games like The Binding of Isaac and Mr. Shifty. Like, there's good games on it, which seem like really well suited for a mobile platform. So
yeah.
I was slightly swayed. But on the other hand, for that much money, I could like double my Warhammer collection. So gotta choose. It's a lot of money. Like after games and extra controller, like
every time you go away from the Switch, you just have to ask yourself: is that other thing gonna let me seduce gorillas? That's literally the only question you need to ask yourself.
Why do we always talk about this in every session?
That's like
because it's the greatest game ever made.
I could buy a Switch or like 60 indie games.
That's true too.
That is true.
If you love 2D platformers, go for it, man. But
exactly.
I'm kind of done with indie
3D
games.
with Zelda.
I'm the first person to even hear it myself. Like, I've never heard anyone say this, and I felt this the other day. I was looking through the Steam store and just looking at 2D indie game screenshots. I'm like, I've played that before. And I'd never
Right.
owned it, so they're all starting to blend together. Yeah, I know they all have a crazy, unique art style, and that one makes you really depressed, and that one's about someone who's actually dead. Great, I don't care anymore. The effect is gone. It's lost
True,
on me.
though, it's
Yeah,
true.
that is the downside.
I'm in a Discord channel where everyone plays sandbox games. It's like, how many times are you going to build a house? I've seen you build a house like 20 times, you guys. It's the same house, just different graphics.
And that's why I really want to try Subnautica. It seems like the most different out of all of them because
probably
true.
underwater.
Yeah.
Like, literally
Space
different.
Engineers looks interesting, but here it has some kind of UI barriers.
Sorry, what?
It's not great. Space Engineers has not the best UI, I hear. But it looks cool.
Conan has
Space.
penises.
But is it
Thank
sandbox penises?
Sandbox
Can I build a
penis, yeah.
house for my penis? Like, I don't know.
Do you get a gilded cage for it?
Ooh.
I played
Sandbox
Guardians of the
penis.
Galaxy Telltale.
Right, I saw your videos.
Episode 1, I played that too.
Episode 1. Yeah. It was the design, is there a Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon? I'm
There's a
guessing
comic
there
book,
is.
obviously.
Yeah. Is there like a cartoon like after the movies came out, everything was like, oh, very modern.
I don't know if there was.
Probably. I know they
Yeah.
had cameo appearances in the Avengers Assemble.
The
I might have seen that. Yeah.
the
So it might
character
be like
designs
a
looks
movie,
very
a cartoon movie.
looks like it's a kids cartoon style, if you get what I
Okay.
mean.
I
Yeah.
will Google it right now.
Star-Lord looks so generic.
That's too bad.
That's kind of true in general.
What did you think about the character designs? I don't know. I think Gamora is pretty cool. But that's it.
It's all about Drax.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
I didn't have an issue with the character design. I was pretty used because they're trying to tie it in with the movie, so like
Right.
they can't go
Okay.
too far off into their own
Yeah.
direction. And I mean, I haven't read a lot of Guardians comics. Do they really do they go in different directions with the style? Have they had different
If
looks?
I'm not mistaken, this group is not actually the proper Guardians of the Galaxy from the comics, right?
They're not the original Guardian. Like the
Right.
original
okay.
like Star-Lord type character is actually Yondu, who's in the film.
Yes.
The blue guy. He was the original.
Oh man,
Yeah.
he's so good in the second film. He's so good. I love him so much.
That's
Michael
good.
Rooker is
I'm glad.
amazing.
Was he in the
Those
first
actually
one?
work.
I
He
felt like
is
I was
in the
having
first
deja
Very
vu when I saw the
briefly, yes.
trailer.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was. He was
He
the
has
guy that
one
was
scene
like.
with the arrow whistle.
Yeah.
That I tried to say that the Guardians first movie wasn't like had flaws, and I got so much crap for that every time I brought it up. Well, okay.
You can't say things have flaws online, because
It's true.
then it invalidates the people who like it as people.
Yeah, for sure. It just reminded me like there were so many plot points that reminded me of like a JRPG I played back in like 2001. Main character clad in red, really tough female, co-lead, and then you have like your really dumb characters that like mistake puns for actual statements, and humor ensues.
There's
And I was
three
like-
dumb characters and then two kind of dumb characters.
And then main character given orb at childhood that solves
Yeah.
problem at the end of movie. I was like, what is this, Final Fantasy 2? What's
I
happening
think-
right now?
To be fair, I think that's actually one of the reasons I like Guardians of the Galaxy, because to me, I play a lot of Dungeons. Well, I don't play tons of it anymore, but I grew
You're
up on
addicted.
Dungeons and Dragons and on tabletop gaming, and the first movie made me think of your first. It perfectly replicates like the first session of a D&D game with new players, because everyone's kind of forced together. Nobody wants to work together, and then they were kind of forced into a common goal. And my favorite part is at one point when Rocket goes, "What has the galaxy ever done for you? Why do you want to help save it?" And Star-Lord's like, "I live in it," because that's like always happens in every D&D game. Like, why should we care about saving the world? Because we're in the world, folks. And so, to me, like, I can see how that would be a flaw, but to me, I think that's what made it enjoyable, because that is what it made me think of.
And
as,
I
like,
think
a
it was
D&D game.
it was a pretty different take than what we were used to with all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that's
Maybe a
For sure.
it was very charming and people like connected with it. I think that's because
Doesn't
of
mean
it.
it's not without
because of that.
flaws, though.
Yeah.
I don't still stand by those RPG similarity claims. Like I ate those words a long time ago, but that's just how I felt at the time. It's a great fucking movie, and I'm excited to see the sequel.
So am I.
But what'd you
And
think
so
of the?
am I.
Let me ask you something. What'd you think of the choices that you're given in the Telltale game?
This I'm interested in.
Boo. What choices?
Are there funny choices?
Exactly. Fucking exactly.
What?
I
Sorry?
was playing the game on stream, and you're given 4 choices at any given juncture, and I literally just like read each choice and gave my prediction for what will happen if you choose that choice, and then no matter which one I picked, like it was exactly what would happen. And the problem is like there's no stakes in the choices you make because you know every character is gonna live. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not like in Walking Dead where like you choose who's living
die.
in the rest of the
Yeah.
fucking series. So I mean that was I felt like that was a big thing missing, and I felt like some of the plot or like the choices were like they were kind of lazy. Like there's this one point where you kind of choose, okay, you get to deal with person A or you get to deal with person B, and you're thinking, oh, am I gonna go all the way to person A or am I gonna go all the way to person B? And no, they just person A or person B just meets you at the same place you're at. So you're just like, oh, okay, it's the same background, but this jackass is here now. So
Minecraft did the same problem.
You were saying something, Fo?
Is the game try to be funny? Like, are there funny
Okay,
choices?
so
And does it land at all?
I had pretty solid expectations for the game because I felt like they've done it before with the Telltale Borderlands series, right? Because
Yeah.
sci-fi and it's funny, basically. I think it was it didn't reach my expectations. It's not bad. It's just that I think they had more freedom in the terms of writing it in Borderlands because like new characters, new story.
Yeah.
They can build the characters. They can insert their own personality. While this one is
Also, like-
basically characters we already know, right?
Yeah, I also don't know how hard it is to go from like video game humor to a different video game as opposed to movie humor to a video game.
Yep.
Some of the humor was really good. Like if you watch the first video, there was a part where they make like a really good speech. We're gonna go fight this Josh Brolin guy, right? And and then the elevator just moves really slowly. So that's that one was a really
yeah,
funny scene.
I got a nice laugh out of that.
Yeah, but I'll say the humor was 50-50 for me.
Okay.
Is the
How does
voice
that compare to the
acting
movie?
Oh,
What
movie
was your
was funny,
breakdown
yeah.
for the
movie was funny.
movie? Was funny. Movie like 80-20 in the movie.
I
want
guess
hard
you can say
numbers.
that. I will say 84.3 to whatever else the balance is.
He just watches the movie with a ticker, like that didn't work, that worked,
Yeah.
that didn't work,
Right,
that worked, that didn't work, that worked.
So
It's my biggest fear.
I want to
Oh.
see. Apparently, I did not know this. I was listening to Super Best Friends, and that is how I learned this. Every chapter, you play the different characters.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one we played is Star Lord, and then in the subsequent ones will be like
So
Gamora
you ever
or
have it's like
something.
Rocket's
Yeah,
gonna remember that? You're like, okay, now
Yeah.
I'm Rocket, and I remember that.
Do we get to play as Groot? I'd be okay with
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
It'll
you
be
get
interesting.
you get a big Groot. He's not baby Groot.
Oh, okay.
I hope they give you all these different well-written options.
I am Groot. I am Groot.
And then,
I
yeah,
am
no matter no, they're well written. Like there's long like
Yeah.
poetry. Just like I'm Groot. Every time you click, no matter what you click, maybe there's some inflection. I don't know. Angry, Groot. Or like,
That would be
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
holy
Oh my
shit.
gosh.
is Vin
yeah.
Diesel Groot still?
I'm not.
Did
I
they
don't
even bother getting
I
a
don't
voice
think
actor?
so, no.
They just rip
I-
one from the movie and use it over and over.
I don't think it's the same actors. No, I don't think that would be
Okay.
viable financially for them,
I don't think so. Either.
unless Marvel foot the bill, I guess.
So what do you think of the traversal in the game? Like there are certain
That
parts
was
in the game where like
interesting.
you
I mean,
really
it's
like
kind
the
of
part with
annoying.
the flying boots,
It's
the
more- it's
flying
more-
boots part.
It's just different, and I thought it was something new, but it's like
So-
I could have lived without it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I prefer if they just took most of that traversal stuff out, leave the QuickTime cutscenes in. I love those. Though the QuickTime was incredibly easy. Like you,
That's fine.
I hated how easy it was. Like in Walking
What-
Dead, like you can get fooled a little bit sometimes.
What
like
I want
yeah.
is choices in my QTEs. Like go for A or B first, and that actually has
Right.
ramifications. Like in Telltale, like do I jump off the bridge and land on the car to chase it, or do I keep running or something like that?
Right. So the game, like they had these like traversal areas where like you gotta just like look around the room to like find the clue that'll advance the plot. And I hate rooms like that in games because I do what everyone else would do. You start on the left side and you slowly work your way to the right side because you don't want to miss anything. And that's like a huge momentum killer.
Yeah.
You're in this
Yeah.
huge thing,
And you get to when
You
you're
walk
away from
slow
your
in those
group, you
games.
get to communicate with your group as well through your walkie-talkies or whatever.
But none of those conversations matter.
No.
Yeah, it really sucked.
I don't
But,
really know what's the point of it. I don't know. And it's shorter than the other
Padding.
games. Usually each
Oh.
chapter is like
It was
2
super
hours.
short. Yeah.
This
Yeah,
one is
usually
like
Yeah, sounds about right.
an hour and a half,
Yeah,
which
it
is
did feel short.
weird.
It is weird.
This kind of
Weird.
felt weird to me. I was like, what the
But a
fuck?
lot did happen. It starts off with a bang. I'm not gonna say.
Oh, yeah,
who,
yeah,
you
it
know,
does-
if they
it does
fight,
do
but
that.
like,
I was
No,
playing
I
it
think-
and I was like, what the
yeah.
fuck? Chapter 1? This is
Yeah.
chapter 1?
I thought that too, man. Thought that too. So,
So yeah.
people should definitely check it out.
Okay.
I am excited for the other chapters. It's just that the first one did not meet my expectations. But I think the first chapter rarely do that. It's usually like the ending, like, oh, I wanna play more of this. But the ending was kind of weak too. I feel.
How do you make your choices in games like that?
I just asked my girlfriend what you want to do. It's like, just
Oh,
give
man,
me
I
a
wish my
choice.
girlfriend would pay attention to these kind of situations.
Come on, the timer is going. She usually can't make any
I hate
choices.
it.
So I'll just choose something.
The
I hate
silent
this.
playthrough. That's always
The
fun to watch.
silent playthrough. Oh my gosh. Those are so
Yeah,
good.
I
what?
just go with like how I genuinely feel about a situation.
That's
Yes.
usually what
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah, I'm like, what would make most sense? Like the most stressful. I haven't finished the Game of Thrones one, but whenever I play that one, the reason I haven't finished it is it stresses me out too much. Even though I know the ending
Yeah.
is gonna be similar,
It goes out of its way to make you feel bad.
it makes you feel so stressed out. Like
It's
I'm
worse
like
than
always
Walking
sweating.
Dead that way.
Yeah, like
Because I
Walking-
actually,
yeah.
in Game of Thrones, I actually died once, so I actually had to replay a scene, and I chose 2 different options just to see what would happen. And so, like, in one scene, it's like, kneel and kiss my ring. And so, like, option A, I did it, and my mother's like, why did you do that? It made our house look weak. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
fine, I'm not doing that again. So I didn't kiss his ring. She's like, why did you do that? Now he'll be madder at us. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
you,
The
Mom.
You can't
Yeah.
please your mom in that game. Let's be honest. Like, you can't. But yeah, I mean, the whole point, of course, is that, like, especially in the Game of Thrones world, like, nothing you do is going to be great,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I mean,
There's really
that's,
no great
that is
decision.
par for the course in Game of Thrones land.
Yeah, but it's so stressful. It is, especially the scenes
Yeah.
with, what's her name? The girl at I can't think of her name.
The girl at King's Landing.
Yeah, girl at King's Landing. She's
Yeah,
the worst
that's
for
the
me.
worst.
It's worse for me, I think, because like I am kind of, even though I'm technically older than she is, but like I could be in that position,
Mm.
you know, like realistically, like I'm not a strong man that has a sword. No, if I was in that world, that's who I would be, and so it stresses me out. It's like the political intrigue. You're
Well,
like,
I-
I don't know if I'm gonna just murder my family, or
Right, her situation has the highest stakes, I think.
yeah, it
Which
does.
is why it sucks more.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so like, stressful, but
Well, we all know how good Telltale is at sequels, so we'll see if there's even Chapter 2, after the cliffhangers of Chapter 1.
right.
Did you guys watch American Gods?
No. I was never a
No.
big fan of the book, so I wasn't super incentivized to watch it.
I don't know. Amazon
Same.
is touting it as like the Game of Thrones killer, sort of.
Good luck.
It's like
Okay.
it's like to challenge Game of Thrones. I don't know. I think the first episode got good reviews. I'm not sure. Maybe
Well, I
I'll
like
watch
Man in
it.
the Highest Castle, so I mean, I think I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, no, that was good. I think
So,
I was so disappointed by Preacher. I kind of like
Oh really?
as a show. I didn't really like Preacher.
Was it because Dominic Cooper played? It
No,
was
the
Dominic
acting
Cooper,
was
right?
fine. It's kind of just the writing. No, sorry, I'm not thinking of Preacher. Sorry. I stopped watching. I can't remember why I stopped watching Preacher. Clearly, I didn't like Preacher, but I didn't hate Preacher. I hated the Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, the Douglas Adams adaptation. That was utter garbage.
Written by that guy with the hair. I can
Yeah,
never
Max
remember his name.
Landis.
Right. Max Landis. Yeah.
He can do action scenes. Can't do anything else.
Yeah, I'm not much of a TV guy, so I'm gonna just take a back seat on this one.
I always
Video
have
games
to
are
as
better
well, it's
anyway.
fine. Yeah. I can't speak much on TV shows either, don't worry.
Foe. Did you watch the Dark Tower trailer I posted?
I have a love-hate relationship with trailers. I try to avoid them. I still haven't seen the Thor trailer, even though you told me to. I will probably watch both trailers eventually.
Because you were real. Because you love the.
I do
you love the
quite
books,
like
right?
the Dark Tower, and I will watch the show. I will risk it and get burned, but I'll risk it anyway.
I know.
There's Matthew McConaughey in that. He's playing
Yeah, he's
the
he's
bad guy.
Man, the bad
Idris
guy.
Elba's in it too.
Black- yeah.
Yes,
Which is
I remember
Yeah.
hearing about this a while ago. It's cool. I'm
two
looking-
hot
I-
guys
it'll be
trying to
interesting.
kill each other. I mean,
Exactly. What could go wrong?
I don't want to.
McConaughey's a weird
I
choice.
don't want to make you feel bad or whatever, but
Oh,
it looked like a fun action movie, but it's not supposed to be an action thing, right? I did not read the book, so I'm not really sure.
there's definitely not a lot of action. The first book is
Really?
weird because it's. What,
It looks
really,
like
which
action
part?
is like the only thing in that trailer.
Oh no.
I mean, each book probably has at least one really awesome badass action scene because the main character is a gunslinger, so he's got to sling guns at least once. But there's also a lot of really weird Stephen King like symbology weird stuff. It's like, what does this mean? Oh, it's Stephen King. It's weird and creepy. We don't know why, but just for creepiness' sake, probably.
Of course.
It looks like a very cool looking, lots of ways to reload your gun action movie where you
I
kill
haven't
demons.
watched that. There are definitely demons. Demons are a thing.
At least I got that right.
So yeah.
I wonder. I wonder how far the show's going, because the series
It's
is
like
like
8
7
books,
books.
right? 7.
Technically 8 books, but the 8th book is like a collection of short stories. So it's 7. It's the main part. It's also a comic series. I don't know. I don't know. I wonder how far the first season will go.
So yeah.
Nice.
What else did you guys play? What else?
Owlboy.
Oh, Owlboy. I played that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's so good. I'm so
It's
surprised
good, right?
how good it is. It's still
See,
it's still
you
really good.
didn't believe
it didn't get
me.
any worse.
Yeah, that game is the shit. I gave up on it halfway through, but that game is the shit, man. It's great storytelling, great animation, great like game progression.
The production
and, like,
values is really good, yeah.
Yeah, and like you really like you connect with your main character, Owlboy.
Which is interesting. A very silent protagonist.
But
He's
like
literally mute in the game, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's what we have.
yeah, he's mute in the game, and like everyone else talks around you, and like you're just getting yelled at by like your dad, and like you're not as good as me,
Everybody.
bitch. And then like you have to
Which
be
I
like,
hate that guy.
Such an asshole, yeah.
I'm so bummed. I'm hoping she'll come back, but there's a scene I just kind of did where you have to rescue like this sapper, and she's like this Scottish lady, and
The
you
old
carry her
lady?
around, and she has the young one. She has this
young
awesome like
one.
kick punch with a stick.
Right.
It's so good. It's like the best move yet, and I'm really hoping she comes back, but we'll see who the third person is yet. I've only got the first 2 for the party. I assume it's only 3. We'll
Yeah,
see.
it's only 3, yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it. I played that. And I played some random indie games. I played The Deep, which is from the Let 'em Dare Game Jam. So it's a small little game that had its flaws because it's built in 24 hours, but it's actually pretty cool. It's kind of like a sonar navigation game. You're just going around under the ocean, avoiding behemoths, which love sonar, and trying to mine ore.
You
and I
play
played
Sword with Sauce. That looks
Sword
fun.
With sauce.
That
It's
looks
pretty
fun.
It's like a first-person shooter.
It's
It
like a
just drops you
first-person
into a
Hotline
room
Miami or something
with
like
like
that.
35 guys, and you gotta kill all the guys, and you have like gadgets, and it's got some parkour elements, but I'm not good enough to actually take advantage of those at all. But yeah, it was really fun.
You were
Got
literally just
funny
hiding
ragdoll
in the
physics.
corner and slashing people with your sword. That's like
That,
the AI is so dumb.
that was not. Yeah, I should probably just run, just never stop running, and just see how long I can go for. But then I die, so I don't know. And then, like at the end too, I'm just standing on a roof shooting a bow and arrow, and the guys can't find me and shoot me. So the AI is really dumb. I did have it on medium difficulty, so maybe I could ramp it up and be smarter. But that probably just means more idiots, not smarter idiots.
Oh, since you brought up difficulty, you guys know Mario Kart 8 came out this week for the Switch, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh yes, I'd forgotten that.
So
That explains all the gifts I'm seeing.
yeah. Apart from all the extra content you get that is different from the Wii U, right? Like a bunch of maps and characters, blah blah blah. There's also a couple of features, and those
I
features
don't like the way you said features.
those features has ruffled up the feathers of the hardcore gamer community.
I feel like hardcore and modern Nintendo isn't a thing.
Unless it's Super
It's not
Smash,
really-
maybe?
To that,
No,
to the
not-
to the hardcores,
Uh,
the casuals are people who play
There
Candy
are-
Crush.
but-
That is,
I-
yeah.
Yeah.
this is very semantic, but there are diehard people, but I wouldn't say they're hardcore people.
So,
what did they add that messed up the
Yes, what-
hardcore
what are
element?
okay,
of it?
so they
don't even know.
added an option which you can let's say you play local multiplayer and there's like 4 people, right? Each 4-person can have all the different options turned on or turned off individually. So two of these options is auto acceleration, means you don't actually have to hold the acceleration button, and
weird.
auto steering, which lets you
Wait, what?
stay on the map. It's quite bad, as in you will hit stuff and shit like that. It's usually just to keep you from dying. So
Is it just so you can play with your 2-year-old child?
there's been stories
Who
of
uses it?
parents with disabled kids basically
Yeah.
saying
Okay.
now they can play the game.
Right.
They can watch the game play itself?
They can't, because they sometimes
Well, they can steer a little bit. They're just not gonna like. They're not gonna get owned by a
Oh.
Rainbow Road.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, so because they
I
can't,
see.
they can't hold the controller properly, or their fingers don't work as it's supposed to. So maybe they just can, like steer a little bit. Like one of the stories, this young girl that has some kind of disability. I don't remember what. One of those can't use your body like it's supposed to, right? And she used to play games with her mouth. I don't know how. Like maybe she holds the controller up
I've
like this. And,
seen
Oh, I know how.
Stuff like that, right?
Kind of stuff.
so
I do it all the time.
I'm
so
waiting for that one.
so a lot of people were saying like, we don't need these accessibility options. Just
Right,
some
you don't, right?
some of the comments were like, why do game companies is making it so much easier these days? And another comment was like, this is just reducing challenges in life. We just want it, like, dude, it's a video game. Like, winning in Mario Kart 8 ain't gonna give you a job somewhere or something. It's not challenges in life.
That is kind of a problem, though, I think. Like, this is, like, weird for me to say, but I do feel like there's a disproportionate number of people who, like, get life fulfillment from video games. It's not like a recreation. It's like how they
Right.
validate.
Which is kinda dangerous.
Yes.
It's a slippery slope,
Yeah.
A bit.
to use an overused phrase.
The
Right.
thing is, it's an option. You can
Right.
Yeah.
literally turn them off, which is how options work. If I'm not mistaken, options work by turning on and off. So a lot of people are like, but then if I play somebody with these options on, I'll lose. Then you fucking suck, dude. People who need these options are people who just can't really play the game. And if you don't
Like-
need these options, you will win most of the time, if not 100% of the time.
Because it doesn't even sound like it would do drifting, which is a big deal.
No, it's not. It doesn't do anything. It's just
Yeah.
literally you will go right at to the corner and then just turn slightly and then keep going. It's like it's so
Okay.
minimal, the impact that it has on the game, and I don't know how people are justifying them saying they want these options out. Like, you can turn them off. What?
But what if, like, someone actually learns how to use these handicaps?
I
And I'm
hope
not talking
so.
about the person. I'm talking about the
That'd be awesome.
feature properly. Like, they actually use it like in conjunction, so that they end up like never crashing into walls, and they just like do it all. They supplement it
But isn't
with actual
that,
skill.
Sure.
That
be
sounds
cool.
to me like
Sounds like
that-
auto aim or something.
that just sounds to me like a normal meta game of the game.
Yeah.
Like you're saying that
like
it's not
that- like-
helping at all, really.
from
Well,
the
I
To
mean,
a person who
if-
has full control.
there's a
If
couple
you're losing
there's,
to people who do it, you can turn it on for yourself to get the same advantage. You have the option.
there's a
If
couple
it's,
of
if it's
videos
actually
that
advantageous.
there's a couple. I think one video that I've seen. They literally just started the race and not touch the controller. Played on 50cc easy mode, whatever. I don't really know what's the
50cc is like slow and easy.
the
It's
slowest
generally
one,
how
I
it works.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
also
just
easy? I
it
don't know.
accelerates and it doesn't aim for the powers. It doesn't use the powers automatically, and it doesn't go onto those
Because
platforms
that's what
which
that's
speeds you
that's
up.
because Nintendo believes that you got to use your tongue to aim. All right, that's what
Apparently.
Shigeru thought. All right, that's his philosophy.
The future.
Basically, I
picture a
read
world
all
of
the,
Yoshis.
To me, I read all the positive stories about parents having disabled kids now finally being able to play the game.
Yeah, that's
I
sweet.
really can't see the negative in it.
Yeah,
No.
I like that.
And at this end of the day, like as far as like I don't know, it's not like
At the
we're
end of the day,
talking
it's an
about-
option.
Yeah, it's a game, and we're not even talking about like legit tournaments where money is involved. Like
Yeah.
that is a different thing altogether. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about having your name in an online board. Like I don't know. To me, like come on. Come
Like
Okay,
if
so what
you're
does that
a
mean for
if you're a
rankings?
pro playing Mario Kart 8 tournaments, like
Is that even a thing?
You're gonna smoke all these people anyways.
True, yeah. Like, you are.
So why be so competitive until another person's enjoyment affect yours? Like,
Right.
I don't understand
I mean,
that dynamic.
I think we had this conversation before, just with like
with Dark
easiness
Souls and
settings,
Star
because like
Fox.
even in like single player games, like I remember when the Curious Expedition added difficulty settings, people were like, this invalidates all my achievements. I'm beating it with no difficulty settings. Like, no,
I
you still did the thing.
literally had a comment
this
saying that this invalidates
Yeah.
people who play it without. How does that invalidate? Fuck you, bitch. How does that invalidate your achievements? It invalidates that you're able-bodied. What?
People
Why?
need to feel superior, I guess, is a thing.
So now you're feeling insecure about a kid that can't move her arm? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
What?
a little
the fuck?
interesting.
People.
And Mario Kart's like kind of like a difficult game. I'm not like
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
saying
not
I'm
easy.
bad at it.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but like my brother is like pretty inept, and he would just be he's going off cliffs nonstop. He needs help. I'm not saying he needs help like that. Actually, he needs a lot of assists. He needs a lot of things turned on.
Right.
Just to get through life. I'm kidding. But
Can you turn items off in Mario Kart?
items off?
Because I feel like if you couldn't turn items off in Smash Brothers, I don't think there'd be nearly as a competitive scene for it. So I don't think there's really a competitive scene for Smash Brothers because the
think you
rubber
can
banding is so strong.
I think you can choose what items don't turn up. I'm not sure. I don't remember the options.
Last Mario Kart I played was for the DS.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Just the 64 version.
Like, I never... Yeah, see, I grew up on Crash Team Racing, so I know.
Nice.
people are
Yeah,
mad.
Crash.
But that's what yeah, exactly. So, like, that's... I don't know.
Yeah, I think in time trial mode you would only get mushrooms. Like you would only just get a little speed boost. But like,
Makes
I'm not sure if
sense.
there's other mode.
So yeah, I mean, don't feel insecure. It
don't feel
doesn't
insecure about yourself,
invalidate
people.
your skill.
Yeah, exactly.
You're good at Mario Kart.
You
and you
are.
Don't let anyone take that away from you. Least of all those filthy cripples. No,
Guys, I was
I
waiting
couldn't
for
end
it.
on a good note. This is not how this works.
Oh my gosh. I was waiting
Gotta
for
stir the
that.
pot a little bit. Shake up the ant farm.
Yeah.
I did an interview with a game developer that just released his game called Pinstripe. He made
I
it
don't think I saw
himself
it.
for 5 years,
I love those.
which is fucking insane. He said he's never gonna do that again. So
Yeah, it sounds like a horrible experience.
right,
Reminds me of the Fez guy.
it was a really
I wonder
good
what
talk.
the. I'd love to see the breakdown of time. Like how much time was spent coding, how much time was spent just drawing assets, how much time was spent
So-
composing music.
He is a very artistic person.
You have to be.
His smallest skill, according to him, is the programming part. And his problem was he was so gung-ho about it that instead of concepting and planning, he just, I have an idea. Let's freaking put it into Unity straight away. That kind of thing.
Nice.
Instead of like writing it on paper. And he said that is literally why it took him 5 years. But it was a really good talk. He was really open about a lot of things, like and about how he feels and how during the development and stuff like that. It was a really, really good talk. It's not up yet at the time of this recording, but I think should be up when it's. I have no idea. I'm literally editing it before we recorded this podcast.
Oh, that's why I didn't see it.
So what else did you guys do?
This week
Yeah.
the new game I played. I try and play a new game every week. The new game
Yeah.
I played this week was Caladrius Blaze. You know have you guys heard of this game? Yeah,
It's a shmup, right?
Yeah, it's a bullet hell shooter. It's I had that itch. I haven't played a game like that since like Ikaruga for the GameCube, and I was like, isn't it like it's the perfect game type? You use a ship, you're going up, you hold the shoot button, and then it's you just advance the plot. And it was the most brutal experience in my whole gaming history. Like the bullets. I was playing on normal mode, and it was like I was dying, I think every 5 seconds.
Oh, no.
And like thankfully they give you unlimited continues. So I was just dying and then like hitting enter, keep
It's like
respawn.
super hexagon of shmups.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I died like maybe 90 times just to see like a couple of levels, and I was like, just making my way through, and it has like cool bosses, and
Does it have different characters with like different skills?
Yeah, you have like 9 different characters you can use, which is just like
cool.
insane. It's so much.
Wait,
it's
is
so
this
much
the
variety.
one where your character's clothes get ripped off the more damage you take?
No, I would remember that. I don't think that happened. But it's like every level starts with like I want to say like 20 lines of dialogue, and like you just see like these 2 sprites like talking back and forth like Fire Emblem style, and I'm like, there's no way this is needed for the game. So I just fucking mashed through that. Like I'm just curious, like I'm just amazed, like who is listening to this dialogue and is like getting into it? Unless it's like based on a cartoon, who is like just sitting there like yeah, this is totally interesting. Anyway, that blew my mind. But then anyway, so the second time I played through it, speaking of easy assists, you can turn on in the main menu when you want to start the game again, like right next to your basic options, it just goes God mode. Because I think they're just like, yeah, unless you're really committed, you're not going to see any of this game. So we can just turn damage off, and you can just go. And I did that in my second playthrough of the game. So yeah, that was kind of fun. I've been enjoying that. And my addiction right now is Hearthstone. I play that
nice.
anywhere I go. I won't bore anybody because I know Hearthstone is such a one-sided. Like I could just lose everyone right now if I wanted, but I'm not going to do that.
It's hard to be casual at Hearthstone.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge barrier for entry. It's a pretty expensive game, especially if like you're trying to get into it like now. But I mean, right now the game, like the meta game, is for us like intermediate to expert players is like it's very healthy.
Like a balanced, diverse competitive decks.
Yeah, like there's like
the
last season they just did a thing where they rotated out a lot of broken ass cards, which were just like in every deck basically, like it, that's not
a good
fun.
Sign.
Right?
No, yeah.
So they kind of retired some of those cards, and like a season ago before they did that, there was like 2 deck types that were dominating the ladder, and everyone was just playing those 2, or you were losing to those 2, you know. But now there's like 9 deck types that are totally viable, and they're all in like different classes. So it's just it's been super fun. But I almost stepped in vomit today playing that game because I was on my phone, and so it's. Yeah. Today
you mean literally? Oh, right.
I didn't know what he meant either first.
Yeah. I thought this.
Yeah,
is a
stepping
new
in vomit.
phrase
It's lingo for losing in Hearthstone.
Oh, jeez.
But no, today's Cinco de Mayo. I don't know where you guys are based out of, but it's Mexican Day of Independence, and it's just like a day where people just get.
Apparently, it's not. I've been reading a lot of Reddit posts about people being so adamant about it being
It's
Independence
a battle. Day. It was a battle between.
It was an actual thing that happened, but it's not their official Independence Day.
You know, I'm not going to give an official statement. I totally just pulled it out of my ass like it wasn't a podcast.
Everybody thinks that, so you're not the only person to have said that in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, it's fucking Yom Kippur, Jewish Day of Independence.
There was a post. There was a post on Facebook shared on Reddit. Somebody thought May the 4th was Cinco de Mayo. Somebody thought May the 4th was...
Cinco is 4, Mayo is May. That was their logic. They said that was an actual thing from that post.
Oh my goodness.
Man. So yeah, I was... So this, like, today was like a rainy day in New York City, and it was a lot of mud and a lot of vomit piles everywhere.
Yep, I bet there were.
Piles up.
People just like, how do you not know how to drink yet? Like, Jesus, can we all just figure this out and not have like, not try and have 20 tequila shots at 8 p.m.? So yeah, I was really in the middle of a great battle, and someone like literally stops me like, yo, you're about to seven that into that vomit right there. I was like,
nice,
thanks, good looking out, man. I appreciate you. I'll never see you again, but thank you.
Right.
What's your favorite deck right now?
My favorite deck is okay. So there is a particular deck type that is like it is the strongest based on like you just need a couple of cards to pull it off, and it's for the rogue class. It's called Quest Rogue, and so they have this new mechanic now called quests, where every class has a different quest, and if you spend a card to play the quest, and if you complete the quest, so for instance, the quest is play 7 minions that cost 5 or more, or in this particular case, the quest is play 4 minions with the same name. Now, the interesting thing about that is that
you can only have two copies of a card.
You can only have 2 copies of any card in your deck, so you got to do things that kind of bounce cards back into your hand to play it again.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, it's like pretty easy to do that. So,
in a rogue deck, yeah.
and the reward for completing the quest in Rogue is like super powerful. The
cool.
effect is from that point on, once you complete the quest, all your minions are 5 attack, 5 health, which is like a really high bar for like you play something like the cheapest minions, and now they all have that stat line. It's and you combine that with like really cheap minions that have charge, which means that they can attack the turn they're played. It's super broken. But to counteract that, because everyone's just super pissed that everyone's playing this deck now, people are just people make decks that beat that deck, and it's pretty consistent now. Like the trick to beat it is to just have a deck type that's just more aggressive than what Quest Rogue is doing. But yeah, so I did this thing on stream where I don't spend a lot of money in the game, and I had like these reserves saved up to like make cards. You can do that, with if you have duplicates of cards, you can kind of just destroy them and get some dust out of it, and then use that to buy cards. So I was getting my ass kicked. I didn't have any good cards from the latest expansion, so I had like this extravaganza on my stream where I was just spending all my money just to get these cheap ass cards, to have the broken ass deck, and I made like a GIF on Instagram of like money falling from the sky while I craft the cards.
No.
So I get these cards, right, and then I open a pack today, and it's a legendary, and it's the fucking quest card that I spent all my fucking money on. And it's such a heartbreak because the way that worked out, like I really screwed myself over in terms of value. Like I spent a lot to get a card, and then I got another copy. And
yeah, but you never know.
The copies are worth a quarter of what
the
crafting cost is. So it's a whole thing. But
that's why I stopped playing Hearthstone. Really, is because I used to be into Magic the Gathering a lot, and I love trading card games, but I do not enjoy the collecting aspect at all.
You don't like the collecting aspect? I'm a big fan.
I like the deck crafting aspect, and if I can't craft the deck because I don't have the stuff, I find that infuriating.
Yeah, I mean, if any viable deck like has certain cards of a legendary rarity.
Yeah. I mean, Magic's the same way.
Yeah, Magic's the same way. There's a Magic the Gathering player that I'm a big fan of. Do you know Brian Kibler?
I haven't played Magic in a number of years, so I'm probably out of the scene.
Well, he's he's in the Hall of Fame for Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
He's won a couple of pro tours, and super smart guy, and raging cokehead. I heard from one guy. I'm not gonna, I like Brian. He's a good caster. But when someone told me like, yeah, well, he's got an issue with that, and I was like, well, that would explain his positive personality on Twitch, But
almost all Magic players I know do something. Like I got very adept at withstanding copious amounts of secondhand things when I go to houses to play.
I mean,
but like what exactly? Like stimulants?
Well, marijuana at the least.
Yeah.
But alcohol for sure. Alcohol's not good though. I mean, for Magic, like.
You want to be on your game for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the hard thing is that like collecting in general, like that action of buying a pack, ripping a pack, seeing what you get, it's basically like gambling in a way. Not to disarm it. I play Magic as well, not like on the competitive scene or anything like that, but I do play recreationally, and so I totally understand. But
I used to be very competitive.
There is an addictive gambling quality to that.
It is totally addictive.
I don't enjoy gambling either, though.
Right, but that's what I mean is I think I could see for you, Fo, how like that's just like, and while for some people, like, not, of course, saying that R2 over here is addicted to opening packs, but I'm just saying, like, there is a quality to that where it's very,
Well,
but it's somehow justified because, like, the game is free. Like, if you want, you can grind it out. Sure. But, I mean, isn't everything gambling at some point? Everything's...
Well, especially when you have to pay for things. When they start doing microtransactions, it definitely can get that way.
Yeah, but I remember, like, I used to be really into Yu-Gi-Oh! And anytime someone gave me $5, I would literally run to the store and buy a Yu-Gi-Oh! Pack.
So, I worked in a comic shop for 3 years, and we referred to these things as cardboard crack, because they are.
I believe it, yeah.
Because, like, especially... Like, in Hearthstone, there is a pity timer, so once you open enough packs and you haven't gotten a legendary, it gives you a legendary.
Oh, wow.
I think Blizzard's really big on it. World of Warcraft has the same thing with your class legendary equipment.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, and packs and Yu-Gi-Oh packs did not have that. So when you got a nice ass card in Yu-Gi-Oh, you were like, "Oh, this is the best feeling ever!
Yeah.
My life is made.
Yeah,
I got a card called
be-
Jinzo."
Before I got competitive at Magic, before like high school, I loved that as well. Like
Yeah.
I was all about the collecting and opening packs. But then
Nice.
eventually it's like the only reason I would buy packs is to draft them.
Yeah.
You do you do the drafting thing where like you just like put all your cards in a pile. Everyone has a pile, and they make a deck out of it.
Basically, each person has 3 booster packs, and you sit around a table, and you all open the first booster pack, take a single card from it, pass the pile to the left, take the pack from the right, take a card, do that 3 times,
Yeah.
basically.
I've done
make
it
a
unofficial.
smaller
I've
deck
done
of it.
unofficial drafts with friends around
It's
here.
probably my favorite format.
Yeah, I've
I
done
don't
that. I've been to a couple Magic the Gathering meetups, and it's crazy. Like I never played Magic the
Hearthstone-
Gathering, but all this knowledge I have from Hearthstone, it like really translates over.
Yes.
does,
it
yeah.
Like a
translates
lot
well.
of variables like tempo and like mana
advantage.
cost and
Yep.
deck types. It's
Your mana curve.
Well, Hearthstone
I
has
love
a very
curve.
good draft format.
I love
Curve
mana
is
curve.
good.
Anyway,
The thing I don't like about Hearthstone compared... This is way off topic. The thing I don't like about Hearthstone compared to Magic is... And it's because it's a video game. Like, Magic has instants. You can play things out of turn, out of sequence,
Yes.
and that's what I like about it. But it's so hard to do that for a video game. It really just... Like, 'cause Magic Online was just impossible to play. There's so much like, your turn? You can do anything? No? Okay, I can finish my turn. No, you're going to do it now? Okay.
Yeah,
It's just-
there's
and
a lot
it's
of. That's
unbearable.
what I've heard. Yeah, it's a lot of because my boyfriend plays Magic Online a lot. It gets really slow because it's
Yes.
like, okay, it does help you understand the rules better because I'm still really bad at understanding all
true.
the rules because oh my
Sometimes
gosh,
it
Magic,
does.
stop adding more rules. But anyway, so it does help you like understand how certain things are supposed to flow because of in Magic, like, how a colon
They've streamlined
works
it.
changes how a card operates. Like, it's ridiculous.
The wording is very precise, and
Oh
sometimes
my
it bothers me going to other systems. Like Warhammer is 1, not balanced at all, but 2, also just I don't know who writes their rule books, but they are super open to interpretation. Like you can go to a tournament in this city, and the tournament organizer's like, yeah, we're not going to allow that, but the next city over, they totally allow it because it's just not clear, and there's no official ruling on the.
That's kind of weird.
that's pretty loosey goosey. Yeah.
Just a
It's, I mean, Warhammer is definitely a game I do not play competitively.
So
It's
I'm
definitely a
guessing there's
purely
different
fun
metas for
recreational
different
thing.
tournaments?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is kind of weird.
And it sucks too, like, because the game's so terribly unbalanced. Like, one of the most competitive armies right now is basically just 30 instances of this one unit. Like, so somebody bought like 30 of the same thing, painted it, assembled it, and that's what their entire army is. Boring, but it's very powerful, apparently. And so some tournaments are like, yeah, we're putting unit caps. You can only have 2 or 3 of each of the same thing. So if some guy's like, well, I just spent like, hundreds of dollars on this thing. Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Outside of that,
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of TV except for John Oliver's show. I really like his program. But I think that was off this week. But I watched all of 24 this season. That's like an American tradition.
Oh, jeez.
I've never watched it.
It didn't feel good watching it this season, but it's kind of like I'm playing a card game. I'm watching 24. It feels like 2004 again. So the nostalgia thing finally got around to me. It finally figured out what I was doing 10 years ago and appealed to that. But there's a terrorist. There's a clock. Let's go. And then it's just always a good time. So, I'm probably forgetting something. Like, I definitely watched something. I watched a lot of video essays on YouTube. You guys ever get into those? Like Nerdwriter or Captain Christian?
I like
Any of those
Every
guys?
Frame a Painting. That one's really good.
I haven't heard of that one, but the
That
production
one's, he does
value.
about movies.
Okay. Oh, I love film analysis stuff, and
It's
it's a
really
shame.
good.
A lot of those channels, like they're losing a lot of revenue, and I feel really bad for them.
Because of copyright or what?
Yeah, like they'll use like several seconds of footage just to make a point, and
Right.
the algorithm
That's why
flags
you
it or
have
whatever.
Patreon now. Use Patreon.
YouTube algorithm is one of the worst things.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's pretty sensitive. I work for someone who does praying online, like live, and she got flagged, and she's just reading from a 1,000-year-old book, and it got flagged like, no, you're
I think the Bible's public domain.
I was going to say,
By
aren't
now.
this public domain?
It has to be. There's no way that someone
What?
owns this certain religious text.
Well, we
Yeah.
hope at least. I don't know if I'll... Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't care. But whatever floats your boat. But I just thought that was crazy. Like, I guess she was so on her game. Like, she read it just like some professional read it on some CD. Way back when. But that was interesting. But
I remember hearing some cover singer had that too. He did a cover of a song and it sounded too much like the real song and it got super flagged.
I guess that one I can understand.
I can
not
understand
the Bible
I can
thing,
understand
though.
the
I don't
algorithm make a
understand
mistake.
Right.
But there's no good. The problem is only partially at how aggressive the algorithm is. It's quadrupled by how hard it is to actually contest when the algorithm's wrong. Like they're kind of like blind to the fallibilities of it.
Yep.
Like I
they'll
was reading
concede
this.
to you. They'll let you keep it up if you're fine with just giving your ad revenue away.
Yes.
Yes.
That's true.
Oh,
I
they're
was
fine
I
with
was
that.
I was reading this small YouTuber that was doing a commentary on Daddy 05, and
Oh, yeah.
his commentary video got flagged for child abuse. I'm like, what?
Gosh.
Oh my
I'm
God,
guessing
come
it's
on.
one of those
That's gotta be
YouTube
user
heroes.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
A lot of
probably.
YouTube viewers trolled him.
Oh,
They really don't give a shit about context, do they?
no.
Can I say a
probably
quick thing about Daddy of 5?
Yeah, he lost to his
I'm
kid,
sure-
so Daddy 03.
He has to make a new channel, though. You gotta change the name. You gotta appeal
Yeah.
the name. Okay, the one interesting thing, and yes, it was a horrible situation. I got upset watching, the footage that Phil DeFranco
Yes.
put together. I was like physically upset, but I will say this. Maybe what we were seeing there was kind of like the modern American family in some senses. Like I remember, okay, so in the early '90s, a show came out called Roseanne, and that show resonated with people because people were like, "Oh my God, I've never seen a family like this." This felt more real. It felt more gritty. If you saw like kind of like a white trash. That's what they said it was. It was a white trash family, and I was watching Daddy of 5, like this footage, and it's kind of like my family's had moments like that. Not like I wasn't kicked into a bookshelf, but they'd be yelling, they'd be screaming, and then sometimes parents are just like they're just tired and they don't jump in there, and then you see kids fighting. I'm like, this is capturing something besides the prank video part, which is super fucked up.
Yeah.
Just like the fucking chaos that can be a modern American household was captured in some instances on that channel. So maybe that's why it had 200 to 300,000 subscribers.
It
that's
has
something that-
750,000
Struck a chord.
subscribers.
Now it has 700. Holy
No.
shit!
When the whole thing was going on, he already
Oh.
had 700, almost a million.
Oh, here it is, 700. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's more my my point, I
Right.
guess. Like that's like how I'm blown away that's kind of like my in-head like explanation for like how that channel got that big without people getting upset.
I have
'Cause
another
I guess-
theory.
Oh, please, I'd love to hear it.
There's
I
enough
think
scumbags.
at least half of them, I'm gonna guess they're pedophiles. Some people get
viable
off of.
That's a lot of pedophiles, dude.
I mean, it's an actual mental condition, right? It's an actual diagnosable condition. So I think a lot of people get off of seeing.
Sarah is rolling her eyes so hard right now. She's like, I'm not gonna take part in
gonna-
any of this.
No,
strain an eyeball.
so you don't know this. My job when I'm not doing YouTube is I'm a social worker.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
yeah, so Daddy
Gotcha.
of 5, that when that situation went down, because unfortunately I have to agree with you, R2, is I do think there are a lot of families, especially that probably do see themselves in that family, which I think is very unfortunate for a lot of different reasons.
Mhm.
And the whole pedophile thing, I could maybe see that. I don't know the numbers because unfortunately when it comes to pedophilia, we don't know the numbers of people. We just know that they have underground websites and it's bad. So it's the whole situation is kind of nasty as a point of view of wow, the amount of people who were like okay with it or were able to rectify it, which just kind of goes, and I can go all about of how we have an issue as far as trauma with children in general. It's actually an epidemic, especially I think across the world it's an epidemic, but in the United States especially, it's kind of an epidemic. So that's another thing where it's like, yeah, there probably are a lot of people that think it's okay because they thought that this was normal in a way, and holy crap, isn't that messed up, folks? So,
Yeah. There's something about just like, I when I was watching that footage, I was just reminded of like when I was a kid. I wasn't in a fucked up situation like that. You know, I would have little fights with my brother, but like there's just so much stimuli going on. It's like constant input. It's like I didn't have iPads and stuff, but there's like video games here, there's TV there, there's yelling here, and I was like, you know, I saw that in that footage. It was like, you know, that's what was going on. But that dad's a dick, by the way. Like
yes, he is.
He's
You
just trying to
mentioned
be
Roseanne, right? It's actually
Yeah.
being revived for 8 episodes.
Is it really?
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
With all the main cast coming back.
Really?
No idea why.
That's
Cameos
awesome.
by Daddy 05.
Oh, please no.
It's like how I thought they brought the King Kong movie back because of Harambe. I was like, wait, is that what
Gotta
they're
get on
doing
this
this?
bandwagon.
Oh God, no.
But that's great. I mean, I actually, when I started doing stand-up comedy, I was like researching like how everyone started, you know, everyone's kind of story, whatever.
Yeah.
And Roseanne literally just never bombed. Like she always, like she just never not killed. And she did an appearance on the Johnny Carson show, and they just gave her a TV deal right there. She was like just like the sassy, husky woman that would just yell at people
Yeah.
from show to show, and it was just like such a it just blew people away. But yeah, I'm a big fan of hers for sure. Put her in my top 20.
I don't think I've ever seen her stand up, actually. I don't know that much about her.
You gotta look it up, dude. It's a nice kick in the dick, for sure. You feel like you're being kicked in the dick.
I liked her on Hollywood Squares, certainly.
I never saw. How do you get your priorities straight? Stop watching Hollywood Squares. Watch some stand up comedy, buddy. Nah, I'm just
I watch
fucking
stand up comedy. I just don't watch. I haven't come across that.
No, honestly, it's probably pretty hard to watch. I probably was talking out of my ass when I said I watch Roseanne's stand up comedy. A little bit. It's gonna be hard to find.
Some comedy is hard to it's super topical, so I don't know how well it would translate or
Yeah.
last. I
I
guess.
think that's what makes a great stand-up comedian, though, is when you can make those jokes that are more lasting. And I mean, the topical ones I think can be very funny and
It's
are
like
very
physical comedy, usually
Yeah.
pretty long lasting.
Yeah.
Yo,
exactly.
I saw Seinfeld record his new special this past weekend, and
Cool.
talk about timeless, man. Like I was dying, I was dying in the crowd, man. And it's like he does a lot of he does this new special where it's about his first 5 years of doing comedy, and he just like does old jokes from back in the day, and that guy is like the master of timeless.
Well,
So
he kind of was the guy that kind of not really invented, but he was kind of one of the first people to do like that sort of what's that phrase that every
Observational?
man like that everyday
Oh,
kind of I can't think
sure.
of the phrase, but like just
Observational?
everyday yeah, I guess so, yeah, just like
Yeah.
everyday situations or whatever. Not the first, but like definitely made it a thing.
yeah,
He's
so-
definitely the most successful stand-up comic if you just measure by money.
yeah. They always put out that list every year, and that list is like
It's a weird list.
it's a weird
by-
thing. Like, do
who
they do that
again?
for every occupation? Like the 10 richest
Seinfeld.
No.
painters, the 10 richest, bodybuilders, and it's a weird. Like, it's just
Richest
money is- it
YouTubers,
can't be
that's like
every-
the biggest, that's like the most, that's the one that gets you the most click these days. Biggest, most money, whatever YouTubers. Like that Minecraft guy that bought a mansion. What the fuck? What the fuck?
He's not a YouTuber, but yeah, that was a good story.
Yeah, I
No,
bet
no,
if you
no,
look,
no.
I bet like the top
I'm
10
talking
list
about a
like now.
YouTuber that plays Minecraft on his channel and bought a mansion
Oh.
in California.
I thought you were talking about. I thought Notch like outbid Jay-Z on a mansion or something.
That
like
is also a thing.
Wow.
He outbid Jay-Z and Beyonce for a mansion, but also a YouTuber that only plays
Like,
Minecraft.
who is
also.
this guy?
Yeah, it's like what the fuck is this pudgy white European guy? Ugh. So, you guys want to get into some news?
I'm cool with news.
Sure,
Not
let's do it.
News.
Much this week. A huge surprise. Darksiders 3 was announced. Well,
Yeah,
it was leaked,
random.
and then they had fuck it,
Officially,
I'm just
no.
gonna let's just put out the trailer and shit. Or
Speaking
maybe
of Zelda,
when they say leak, when they say leak, is probably planned. So Darksiders 3, you will play Fury, the female horseman, the lady horseman.
The Lady Horseman. All right.
Yeah, the lady horseman.
Horsewoman, please.
She has a whip, which looks really cool.
Okay.
And
Whips
but
are
I
cool.
don't really like the design of the character. It looks kind of weird.
Hmm.
It
Let's talk
doesn't have
about
the
gender
same-
roles, guys, and how it affected this trailer.
Oh.
Let's get into it. Why was the man chained up, huh? I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that.
I saw more. I'm not saying
R2,
I'm
stop
not
getting
saying
political.
I'm not saying the female complaints were not a thing. I saw more people complaining about the complaints. Again. So
yeah.
Wait, what were they complaining about? Say that again. Sorry.
Sorry. Apparently there were people complaining about why is this a female character SJW is going into our games, and then a bunch of other people like, can you stop complaining about female characters in games? I only saw the complaints about the complaints, not really the complaints about having a female character.
I always the problem with that is I think it's because it's kind of like, who am I surrounding myself with? I'm surrounding myself with people who are going to find a complaint stupid, so they're going to complain about the complaints, but I don't surround myself as much with people who are making those actual complaints, and so I don't know where they're finding them. Usually if they provide links, you can see it. You're like, oh, this is actually a screenshot of something someone said, but it usually ends up being in, like, bottom of... Not saying that they're not out there. They are out there, because they still happen at times, but, like... Thankfully, they're starting to not get as common on, everyone's radar as they once were. But I totally understand, because I had the same thing happen to me at times. Like, lots of complaining of the complaints. I guess that means that most people
to be
are
clear, from the first game itself, the lore was 3 guys and a girl. So
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's always been that
I'm
way.
not upset about it.
Yeah.
The long con of SJWs.
They've been in the games for years, and now they're starting
How
to
deep
come
does
up.
it go?
Yeah.
Freaking Illuminati.
So you play Fury, and she seems to be like the sadistic psychopath type. I guess because she's a woman. I don't know. I'm not sure
She's
what
like a
the
Red Lantern.
developers are thinking about. Don't really like her design. She has a whip, which is cool, I guess. The gameplay trailer just went up before this recording, but I haven't watched it
Well,
yet.
it's kind of. I think one of the uses of having like a new protagonist is because that you've already spent 2 games getting all the powers, losing all the powers, getting all the powers, losing all the powers. So now you have a new character. Now you can justifiably not start out, being pissed off you don't have all the powers that you had last game. So, fresh
is
new
the worst?
protagonist is helpful for that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And I mean,
smart.
the Darksiders games is kind of a mixed bag for me, but I mean, I think it's cool that they have been focusing on different characters, and I think that's a good thing. That can only be good.
And it's also cool because the company that is working on this game, Gunfire Games, is made out of pretty much the old company that worked on Darksiders visual games.
Did
So
they go
that's
out of
pretty cool.
business?
Yes, they did.
I thought so. Okay, that's what I heard. Darksiders 3 was
Yeah, so
about. I was
basically
like, what?
THQ went out of business. They sold all their IPs to a company called Nordic. Nordic changed their name to THQ Nordic. So THQ
it.
Nordic now owns all the IPs that THQ owned back then, but it's a different company. And Gunfire Games was made out of Vigil Games, which were the company that worked on the Darksiders franchise before they went down. Yeah.
Okay. That makes
So-
sense. Okay.
Pretty much the same people, I guess. I don't know.
Comes full circle. All right, cool.
So it says it's gonna be an open-ended game. I'm hoping it doesn't mean open world because the second game was open world and it was repetitive. I'm hoping it's more of the first game where it's like a Metroidvania Zelda style game where you get more tools and then you get you can backtrack. I prefer that. The open world thing didn't really work with Darksiders. It just became a loot fest. It was really annoying.
Yeah. Keep it tighter. It's okay, guys.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be open world. It's okay.
Yes,
We can't all be
please.
Breath of the Wild.
Okay, so the next one is a bunch of things about Praey, that game. Praey. Let's see which one first. Oh, okay. You guys know a Praey demo was a thing, right? But it
No.
was only for the PlayStation 4.
Oh, jeez. Come on, guys.
They did not.
Does anyone
launch
play
the,
demos anymore?
Yeah.
Downloadable demos on the PS4.
If it's a demo through Steam, I play it.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
It's a little faster through Steam, but like the PS4, I used to love PlayStation demos. Like they used to send you the CD if you had like Underground.
Oh
sign-
no!
if you
This
signed up
is
for that.
this is the downloadable.
No, I know it's all downloadable now, but like it's
Oh,
kind
you
of
mean
like
the
a
old
pa-
days? Right.
Yeah, like I used to love demos back in the day, and I would play demos over and over again, but mainly because I was like I didn't have a lot of games and like I just wanted to fucking play new things. But the demo experience I think has taken a hit. At least it has for me. Either they either the demo feels underwhelming or it just takes too long to install. There's always like these new barriers that you would think people would get way more people on board. I think people are just, and there's less demos. There's overall less demos for AAA titles. You don't see them as much.
I find that as more of a problem of like companies don't want to release demos. I'm not sure if I would say let fewer. I don't know the numbers. We could guess statistics. I don't know. I don't play tons of demos, but I have to admit, if a company's not willing, like especially AAA, that could release a demo is not willing to release a demo, I actually get pretty suspicious. Just because it's like, what's going on, folks? I mean,
okay, so just to be clear, the Praey on PC apparently runs well, according to reviews. Okay. But so this Praey demo thing, the who is it? What's his fucking position?
Oh boy.
Praey creative director says he commented about the demo thing, right? So PC Gamer, I guess. Somebody asked him, why no demo on the PC? Why only PS4? Yeah. He said, it's a resource assignment thing. We couldn't do a demo on both the console and on the PC. We had to choose. Okay, so hold that thought.
Your resources bad.
Hold that thought. He reiterated that the Praey for the PC is not a part. It's developed entirely as a PC game. So, how does that equals to not having enough resources? I don't understand. Like, if you have to port the demo, you don't have to port the demo, right?
Well, I think what you're saying is it would have been cheaper to make a PC demo than a PS4 demo.
I mean, apparently they say that
it does take some resources to make a PC one.
Sure, but they've already made one. I'm not saying it's like no work. I'm saying this is a really dumb excuse.
I mean, I think you shouldn't have gotten your resources to the point where you had to make that choice.
Right.
Yeah.
That was bad.
I don't think it was a choice at all. I think it was just Bethesda. No demos for the PC because we're not sure how well it will run. Because you can optimize the game as much as you want. When the game launches, there's basically your entire user base is gonna be your beta testers, your QA. So you never know. The consoles is so I'm pretty sure that's the reason. They just don't want to say that's the reason. But another comment that was really dumber than that one, about the demo on the PC. Yeah, so it's a dumber comment. So he said, besides, PC gamers have Steam. If they don't like it, they can just refund. It's sort of like a demo.
I did see that one.
Oh, good lord.
No, Steam refunds is not a demo. There is
you kind of use it like a demo. You can kind of
but there are actual so if every developer followed that line of thinking, hey, just use Steam refunds for a demo, then Steam should take out that clause from their Steam refunds page saying you cannot abuse this system by refunding too many games. What if I want to demo all the games?
Right. Like
I have no other choice, right?
Right.
So you're gonna take away my ability to refund because I demo games, which is the developer asked me to do? Fuck you.
That's true. That's a great point.
So fuck you, developers. I'm just joking. Fuck you, AAA. Fuck you, Bethesda. Apparently the game is good, and you play a Chinese person.
I'm glad the game
which is cool.
Good, but what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not for any moral reason, but I think from a behavior standpoint, I would probably end up buying more AAA games if there were demos readily available for them. I think if I actually played the game, like if I see a game, I'm like, or an advertisement for a game, it's very easy for me to say I don't care. But if I actually like play the game, then it's probably more likely to, oh, I want to do more of this.
I mean, that statement just sounds like something a creative director would say when he's just like frustrated with the business. It wasn't supposed to be like an official statement. He's getting screwed. He's getting screwed from all sorts of directions here. He's got to deal with piracy. He's got to deal with people wanting a better demo. He's just like, fucking, you know what? Just refund it if you don't like it, okay? So. Yeah. It's like retail. You just get frustrated. You're not speaking for all the, you may be speaking out of turn. Yeah, you're not thinking of what Steam is thinking about the whole thing. So.
Yeah, I could see that. If.
Yeah.
I
So
used to
that
abuse
is-
the return policy for used games at GameStop.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like
How does that work?
I'll-
How does that work?
though I think if you can you can return, you get a full refund within 10 days any used game, which is like
Oh, wow.
plenty of time to like
Yeah.
crank
Yeah.
out some single
Yeah.
player. And I think after like 3
just
or
take
4,
some
I
time
just like,
off work, rent Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 15 and play the shit out of it. Record
Yeah.
it, make some money out of it, and then give it back to GameStop. Fuck you.
oof, I mean, if only I thought of doing that back in the day.
Right.
Man.
So yeah, the next one is about Praey again.
All right, pray.
This one is actually worse than the first one.
What the heck?
So, do you guys remember the game Pray for the Gods?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I
That
can't say I
Shadow of the Colossus plus
Yes.
Dark Souls game where you fight big ass bosses.
The
Wait, it's
survival
not
mode.
out though, right?
It's not
you just
out,
heard
it's not
about
out.
it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not out.
The
Oh,
indie
okay.
game with the snow backdrop. Looks really
It's
cool, right?
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It did look cool.
So basically, Bethesda said to
Talk a
them,
big game.
your game, Pray for the Gods, might be confused with our game, Prey. Because
But-
apparently the first word is spelled the same. So when I thought Pray for the Gods, oh, I'm gonna play a Chinese character in space. I literally thought that, oh, this big monster must be Chinese. Like, motherfucker, I'm gonna kill some
Yeah.
motherfucking Chinese on 4 legs. For some reason, Pray for the Gods will confuse people with Prey.
No, I'll do this.
Well, they didn't.
So
So
they
then they had the issue with Steam having issues with the name. So I don't know. Maybe they're worried about that.
I mean, they... Come on, it's Pray for the Gods. The folder will be named Pray for the... So, they had to change their name to Pray with Praey.
What?
No, but that ruins the name.
Yeah.
So, in the beginning, they actually said that they were trying to get a trademark for Pray for the Gods, Prey, and the other Pray for the Gods, which is AE, but it's not the 2-letter AE, it's the
Or AY.
symbol AE.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
But they said
So weird.
that's gonna be difficult to search on Google. So
Yes.
but
Yeah.
you know what's the weird thing? Both trademarks were blocked by Bethesda. Even the PRAE symbol Y thing was blocked by Bethesda ZeniMax.
Wow.
So yeah,
How is that possible? I don't know. But it's just the word. Isn't the first game just the word pray? So why?
so this is
It's
just
because they're an indie game, so they
yeah.
can't afford to hire a lawyer.
there's literally
Yeah.
only 3 people working on the game,
Yeah. It's only 3 people.
which is crazy amazing. 3 people being able to make something
Yeah.
that looks like that.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the screenshots right now. It looks incredible. It's something that I
It looks like a
definitely
triple A
want to play.
game.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Shadow of the Colossus, which
Right.
one of my favorite games of all time, and
right?
and
It
nothing
looks
else has
crazy.
come close to the experience.
And
but-
yeah, so again, some people were like, they have to protect their trademark.
they could just they can go full bitterness and call it
They
"Pay
have
for
to
the Gods."
Try. I love it. They have to try to protect their copyright, but that doesn't mean that like the people who oversee that sort of thing have to approve it. Like somebody should at some point look like, okay, you're trying,
I think this
but
is
you're wrong.
I think this is just lawyers trying to show that they are
Threaten
working.
and throw their weight around. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
It just I maybe I'm just hopelessly naive, but like their game's just called Pray, not Pray for the Gods. So why would that to me
So-
is what's just so
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't. The
if it really goes to court, I doubt they win. But is the
Yeah.
going to court
but they can't
part?
it's the
afford
going
it.
to
I
court
see.
part. Yeah.
I
That's
see.
true.
So I'm gonna guess, with this example, CD Projekt can literally go to any game that has the word cyberpunk in it and say the same thing, right?
What
Right.
about cyber or what about punk? Like it's jazz punk.
Yeah.
Is that too similar?
Too similar.
I mean, there's a game called Cyberpunk Bartender, Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender, right?
Yeah.
That game. I mean,
Yeah.
they have the word cyberpunk in the name.
Gosh.
So yes, that's it. Not much this week. A bunch of people crying about Mario Kart 8 having good options for disabled people and companies being assholes.
It's called the lightning bolt. The blue shell. Best thing for disabled people they had so far.
So yeah, that's a thing. What else? what else do you guys want to add? I'm dry.
Hopefully, I'll see Guardians this weekend.
I will see it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Nice. I've already
Yeah,
watched
might
it
as well
because I
go
live
see
in the
it.
future.
You live in the future.
Of course you do. Always in the
Yeah.
future.
It's the only thing we have, okay? It's the only thing we have. We have like early releases for movies. That's literally all we have. So yeah, you
I'm
guys.
surprised it wasn't blocked for like a gay relationship between Rocket and Groot or something.
Yeah.
Oh my
If
gosh.
you don't understand the reference R2, that's referring to Malaysia saying the Beauty and the Beast was too gay for this country.
I heard about that. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They're okay with bestiality. But gays is just a bit too weird, okay? Like men and men, like
It's too arousing.
yeah.
Come to the US of A, where everything is dicey these days.
yes,
free speech,
quick, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think of the work? Because Anita Sarkeesian stopped making her videos. She kind of just brought that all to a close.
I didn't know that.
What are your thoughts on her opinions about tropes, the kind of misogynist tropes?
Sarah's
making a face.
Go first, please.
Unleash
Sarah,
the
I
permission to
don't
go
like-
off.
I feel this is gonna go of a bunch of different ways because
Okay.
like I don't know if it's really fair for me to be able to push on the subject because I mean I have to live through it. So there are a lot of tropes. I think it's getting better. I think there are.
Yeah.
I think that the video game companies have been improving and creative teams have been improving in certain things. Like for example, just simple things like choosing a gender, like being able to play a man or a woman in certain games. I think is a great option. Just even having more female protagonists and not making it weird is great.
Oh,
they're-
the Call of Duty thing was a thing. World War II, Call of Duty World War II. In
What? No,
multiplayer, they're gonna have female characters as well. Oh, people were like,
okay.
no, this is not historically accurate.
Oh jeez.
But so is Spawning After Death. So
Yeah, so's controlling a pigeon. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So I mean, for me, like I didn't look too much into her stuff, so I don't know exactly like specific stuff she was going at. But as far as like, are you asking me, Sarah? Do you feel like the video game industry plays too much on certain tired out female tropes and sexism and stuff? Yes, I mean that's the answer I'm going to give. That there are.
No,
there
I'm
issues.
with you.
All
So
tropes.
I hang out at a lot of comedy shows. I watch a lot of comedy, and I'm very sensitive to people even saying certain words with like a little bit of like stank on
Right.
it. And
right.
I can feel how the audience is very sensitive these days, and and then there are comics in the back like, this is bullshit. Why are they tightening up when I say gay, like in a non-super nice way?
Right,
And I'm just
right.
like, because you're saying it like you put a really hard G on it, buddy. Like you should know that maybe
J.
just
Like
even
GIF.
that because they're like, I'm not saying anything. I'm like, but like your face doesn't look happy when you say it. So like
Right.
I understand sensitivity, and Anita, like I think I watched like 4 of her videos, which are like 20 minutes each. Like everything she was saying, I was like, yeah, that is not healthy for if that was the standard, like what was going on in the 90s, and that kept going, that's not healthy for the general public. And on a more personal note, I love how introduction of brown people in games too. Like I know it's not. I'm not saying that one's more important than the other, but like the fact that Street Fighter brought in a Middle Eastern guy, that's kind of badass.
Yes.
The fact they're gonna bring a Middle Eastern guy into Tekken. We're finally making the fighting games.
But no kangaroos. Kangaroos too much.
Oh yeah, fucking! I don't want any kangaroos in my video games ever. Let's keep them out. But yeah, like for the longest time, just being represented by Dalsim was just not a good feeling.
Right.
Not the best ambassador, just some like
Yeah,
some-
like people literally think you can breathe fire out of your ass.
Yeah, breathe fire, stretchy arms, the whole thing. So I like how it's working. Like Sarah said, it's getting better.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't. Bayonetta is ridiculous. It was
There's
fun, but it was
only
ridiculous.
There's only one thing that I feel is very not healthy. Whenever who's pro diversity or not pro diversity, they always separate to 2 groups: white people and colored people. Like that's the only 2 groups. I just feel
Yeah.
that's not very healthy. If to move on, to group so many different diversities into like colored people.
I
Like
can
white
tell
is a
you,
color too.
Yeah,
Yellow,
no,
brown. I mean, like
it's definitely hard. Unfortunately, what's happening with that is, okay, like I said, folks, I'm a social worker. This is literally my job to look at these things. So like this is like what my education I just graduated is from. But like unfortunately, this is the result of like white people have lots of privilege. I'm going to use that word. There's white people are more represented and stuff like that, and unfortunately it's become an other category. But yeah, like that other category has so much other things in it that's diverse, and it's like, oh my gosh, we're just putting it in other category or other color category. It is ridiculous, but it is an unfortunate thing where it's because it's just only white people at some points. I mean, how many games we play where the protagonist is a white male? Like, there's so many, and it's unfortunate.
The one good thing about Anita is regardless if you agree with her, is she starts the conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
I mean,
about her.
sometimes I don't agree with everything she says, obviously, but she starts. The
I
conversation.
understood. I never. There may have been times when I was like, maybe I wouldn't have pushed it that far. But like, there are times, like, you know, I'm always like, the motivation is genuine and it's a healthy motivation. It's for the betterment of a big community. So
what do you guys think about the defense of let's say if it's a gay character or a trans character or a colored easiest way colored character,
Jesus, dude,
a female character? A lot of people say this is forced, it doesn't fit. I feel like if it's not the norm, you sort of have to force it sometimes.
Yeah, I've seen two different ways. I have seen some people, like, the whole, like, they force it in argument has, to me, become less and less, like, I can't believe it, because there's a certain point where it's like, okay, but the problem is that they say it's forced because the norm has always not been that, you know what I mean? And so, like, they see, so it's the idea of, like, if you don't say anything, you assume the person is straight, for instance. Unless otherwise specified, you are going to assume that person is straight, whether that's true or not. But then, like, so actually, I'm going to use Harry Potter as an example. So, Dumbledore is gay. Oh my gosh, guys, it was a thing. It's never really mentioned in the books that much, or at least it's not really hinted at. It's hinted at, but, like, not really pushed, and it wasn't until the author came out and said it. But then look at the reaction. Like, some people freaked out. And she did it the way where it wasn't even forced on you, and it was still a freak out. So, like, to me, it's kind of like, yeah, well, it kind of does need to be said if we want to be able to show, like, if we want to normalize it, I guess is my point, where it's like, because the problem is that when I hear from people that say they're not, you know, well, I'm not homophobic, I'm not sexist, blah, 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 I just don't want people to force it. Well,
how else do you get it in there?
Yeah. How would that look like to you if we don't if we don't normalize the idea of having a female protagonist? Like, why do you feel like it's forced when we're just being like, this is a female protagonist?
I think you shouldn't use forced. I think that's badly written and well written.
Oh, yeah.
That's
right.
it.
Oh,
I
definitely.
prefer to think of it, the thing I don't like, that when you say forced, the thing that I don't like that you might use to describe as forced, I describe it as exploitative.
Yes, that I can understand. Or when what could also be problematic is when, like, they use that as their sticking point for advertisement. Now, I think if they are going to advertise it, I mean, because at the end of the day, they know people will work up to it and
what
buy
is that
it,
company that developed Life is Strange and Remember Me?
Oh yeah, that. I don't know their name.
I forget their name.
That French company. So
yeah.
When they developed Remember Me first, which is, you know, you play a female protagonist, which has some really cool mechanics and stuff.
Yeah,
so that their story with that game was, we had a female protagonist and nobody wanted to help publish this game because they wanted us to change to a male protagonist, right? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
The thing is, they used the same story for Life is Strange, and I almost felt like it was trying to use that as a marketing gimmick.
Oh, interesting.
Like, really?
Interesting, because
twice in a row, really?
I only heard that story for Life is Strange.
Probably
I didn't
true.
know it was also for Remember Me, so that's interesting.
Because Remember Me came first.
That story might just be true for every game with a female protagonist.
Maybe.
Though.
I'm not saying it cannot be true. I'm just saying, like, it just feels
What's the
that
Lab Zero
way.
game?
What?
That they're working on? Not Skull. What's the Lab Zero game that they're currently working on?
Lab Zero game?
They did Skullgirls, but they're working on that cool new one now with the female protagonist. Indivisible. They said that as well. Like, one of the reasons they had to go to Indiegogo was to get independent funding, because
it's a female.
we don't want any producer to come on board and say change that character.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll say no.
I'm so looking forward to that game. My God.
Yeah, they actually just released like a early roster of the characters. There's some really cool designs in there.
That's cool. It doesn't make sense to me when that publishers are still so like that, because it's obvious it still sells. Like, it's obvious. Like I'm talking. I have not met, and I have met a wide range of guys. Trust me, I have not yet met a guy that truly is like, I can't play this game. Maybe like one. I've met maybe one guy that was like, well, I can't play this game because as a female protagonist, I just can't relate to it. You know, like most
That's weird.
guys really.
I don't relate to most protagonists.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Period.
Like the gender has nothing to do with it. You know, and. It's just weird. Like, it's just such a weird concept to me that producers are still like, no, we can't touch it. You're just like,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
50,
I found myself like relating to Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I projected myself
cool.
onto her, and I was just like, yeah, I'm a badass right now.
Right. Like,
It's cool to play other characters. I don't understand why publishers don't get this.
Yeah, I know. It's so.
I'm trying to think. I tried to randomize it for MMOs about which gender I am. Like, Wildstar, I'm a guy. WoW, I'm a girl.
I fucking tell you now.
If
I play an MMO, I like to play female characters, and sometimes I get like guys like, "Oh, you need help?" Like, yeah, of course, because I'm female. It's like,
yeah.
like MapleStory was probably the one that got a lot of that. I play a lot of MapleStory back then.
I used to play this MMO. You guys have probably never heard of it because like no one knew this one. But like, not to be hipster, just like it was.
You're
so,
calling
like,
us casuals, right?
Yeah,
You're the
right,
hardcore.
You're all
gamer.
casuals, cat. But I used to play this MMO called Dark Ages. It was,
I've heard of it.
Of Camelot?
Oh,
Dark
cool,
Ages
sweet.
Camelot?
Okay.
Or?
8-bit.
Actually, not really. I'm googling it right now.
I haven't heard of it. You are better than me. So.
Okay, awesome. It was.
You are validated.
Yes. It was actually pretty cool. It was 8-bit. There were different classes. It had a lot of Celtic mythology, which was neat. It was pretty hard. Like, it was my first experience with MMO, and, like, when you die in that game, like, it's pretty bad. Like, you lose most of your equipment. You have to go back and get it, and people can steal it.
Ultima
So it was
And-
Dark Souls before Dark Souls.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
Dark Souls are
It's-
casuals.
Like, in
This, yeah. Okay.
And I played this when I
Almost
was,
like
like, 11. Like, so...
I
Yeah,
was playing
right?
Dark Souls since I was 11, bitch.
Right, I could have, yeah. And so I used to play this game, and man, oh man, I still remember this one time when I was just walking around, and a guy was like, "Hey," and I went, "What?" I was like 13, and he's like, "You're really hot."
oh, wow.
And I just said,
Oh, your
"I'm an
8-bit goodness.
I said, "I'm an 8-bit character," and I walked away. It was really weird. Like this
There was
is real.
There was a day I fucked up. Who knows if this is true or not, but the
course.
story was of some kid, like, in Norway or something like that, and he was playing the Star Trek MMO, and he was a female character, and he'd been playing it for years, and, like, he had this friend online, they've been friends for years, and, it just never came up that he was actually a boy in real life. Not only
Right.
a boy, but he was, like I think a high school age
Okay.
boy. And it turned out this guy from Japan, like, fell in love with him.
Oh.
And when he found out he was a boy, he's like, I don't care. I fell in love with your personality, not you. He's like, I'm gonna, like... He, like, tracked his IP down and, like, tried to come and visit
Sounds
him. And so
illegal.
the kid, like, called the cops. Like, they never actually met face-to-face, but he said, like, it was a really big deal.
Oh my
Like, if you're not in my life, I'm gonna kill myself. That kind of...
There's
insanity.
actually a news story this week about something like
Oh.
that happening. It's a Twitch streamer. I can't remember his name. A Twitch streamer which has a really big following. And this kid from Singapore flew all the way to the US, one-way flight, used all his money
man.
and he only could buy a one-way flight, went all the way to his house. And the streamer was like, so, like, holy shit, this is actually a thing that's happening. It's because he's so open with his
Yeah.
life. And then the
That's
discussion
bad.
about, how you separate about the content creator and the audience and stuff like that.
Yeah, people don't have that. And I think a lot of the platforms actively work to, like, break that barrier down. Like, a lot of platforms, like, hey, if you give the creator $5, they'll see your comment for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
If you give them $100, they'll shake your hand. like,
True.
oh, Senpai noticed me.
I mean, and YouTube's all about personalities, right? It's all about you're being real with people. It's not like actors, in a movie
It is-
where you don't really.
It's a connection is
It's a
formed.
different kind of connection. So those kinds of issues
Relationship.
definitely arise. It's definitely a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you're
it's
totally
just-
putting yourself out there, and
Yeah.
you're gonna have some people that want to connect.
Yeah.
And
I
the
haven't yet
stereotype
to meet them, but
and the stereotype of people who likes to play games, and I guess pretty similar to the stereotype of people who like to watch streams and videos of stuff
Yeah.
like this. It's like some of them are, like they have like depression or they are social outcasts and stuff like
That
that.
is a
They
stereotype
feel
that exists.
connected to that. Like they really
Yeah.
feel, this streamer and I, if we know each other in real life, we'll be friends, like really good friends.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I went to a streamer meetup recently in New York City.
Cool.
There was in the Microsoft Center, and it was like streamers of all different levels. I'm barely just an affiliate, and then we have like then there are guys like that have been doing it since 2008, and it was interesting. Like they're all weird in their own way,
right.
because it's a weird life to be living. You're living
Yeah.
on cam 8 hours a day, and
It's the
it's
what's that
And you
show
got
by
tons
Jim
of peop-
Carrey?
What's
The Truman
that?
Show?
I mean, yeah,
The Truman
we're
Show,
all-
yeah,
It's
every
literally the
streamer,
Truman Show, right?
yeah, it's just like a bunch of Trumans hanging out together in one room. Imagine 20 Trumans just like talking to each other and like trying to like relate,
Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird.
The thing is, I can
Is there ever a
relate
problem with them
to that
trying to
kid
one-up each other?
in a small level. Sorry, for?
I was wondering, like, with a bunch of people like that, I wonder if it's a hard time, like, I'm the most extroverted. No, I'm the most extroverted.
Well, most are introverted though. I mean, like most. So like I can
I don't
get
know
into
about most.
I don't know. I when it comes to like, and I mean, like I said, folks, social worker. I got a degree in psychology.
Yeah, I guess you know everything, huh?
I don't know everything, but this is just a favorite pastime.
She knows
That's like
everything.
that's been like your go-to excuse for not excuse, but like justification
Take a drink
for like
every time she mentions her
yeah,
profession.
seriously.
Right.
Like, shut the fuck up. I know what I'm talking about.
Right. Well, to be fair, I have to do that in my daily living anyway.
It's a disclaimer, yeah,
But it's just
or qualifier.
I don't think I've had to mention my profession this many times except in this particular episode.
That's
funny
true.
Enough.
That's
Well, it's saying a
anyway.
lot. It's just by saying
Yeah.
that like it says volume. So yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
But anyway, I was just gonna say, I mean, I don't know, like I've looked into like analysis or whatever, like informally of people who are on YouTube or just even comedians in general, even that personality being a comedian.
That's true.
And most are introverted people.
Right. Like my improv instructor always says, we're a room of introverts pretending to be extroverts.
Yeah, I mean it's.
But I mean, you
true.
exhibit extroversion behaviors.
Yes.
Kind of my point is. So like when
Yes.
you're with each other, you're acting extroverted.
Exactly.
I think that's totally a thing. I also think a lot of people in my age group, I don't know how old you guys are, but I think people in my age group they're less experienced with stuff like phone calls
Yes.
and direct
I-
contact and like eye contact, and it's kind of like
That's true.
some people are more practiced. I made sure I really showed off my eye contact game when I was at this meetup. And
Right.
and I kind of like I was talking where I was taking over the conversation, and I kind of felt like some guys like they just were not familiar with how to jump in, and that's how
Oh yeah.
that's how you come
Give
off
and
like an
take is
introvert.
Huge.
What's
Yeah,
that?
and my
Yep.
and my
Yeah.
previous two jobs, it was just me and another guy that whenever we go to like meetups and stuff for like different IT companies, I was the one getting all the name cards because my actual boss wasn't really good at striking up conversation and shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not good.
It's a thing. Yeah, I know because I am more.
It's a conscious effort.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
am
it is,
more
it is.
extroverted.
Some people it's naturally.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's hard because I am more extroverted. I'm not an introverted personality. And so even in real life, like I'm like this, and so I totally get where you're coming from, R2, because I am that person as well. Where it's like you put me in a room full of people who don't know how to talk to people, and I will be the loudest one.
And I feel like an issue a lot of these streamers have is that a lot like they are introverts, but like they're actually like pretty like they have an audience on Twitch.
Yep.
They have maybe 60 or 100 people or 200 people watching them. So they're actually used to a lot of people like asking them for like favors and shit. Asking for them like, hey, can you host my stream? Can you tweet my show? And they get inundated with all that they just think everyone's like that, and then they just shut down in terms of like all
Interesting.
communication.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
yeah, you
That's
got like it's just like, and I see that in stand-up comedy too. People are like, oh, some guy's running a really good show. Everyone's just like their Facebook Messenger is just like flooded. Like they can't even open it anymore. It's just like constantly
Yeah.
going
Oh.
off. People hitting you up for stuff, and that's a thing. So I always make sure like I'm not that guy who's like
Right.
just trying to
Right.
climb the fucking
That's-
ladder.
I've actually I used to do back when I did a lot more like game jam games. I used to like back when I was unemployed, I'd be the first person like, oh, this game just went up on indiegameswhatever.com, download it, play it, do a thing. Hey, I liked your game, here's my review, post this link. And then I would end up going back to the site, and I'd notice the comment section on all like Game Jolt, all these like indie game sites, every single comment, like with like maybe 2 exceptions, is something like, hey, I did a video. Hey, I did a video. Usually there's not even like text. It's just like like hated a video. Here's a link, and it's like, oh, this is gross.
Yeah, it's hard.
So I stopped. I don't leave comments anymore. I'll leave a review on Steam, but I don't. I don't know.
It's weird.
It's so.
Wait, those
false
comments are in Steam
feeling.
or comments are on YouTube?
No, those are on the indie sites.
Oh, okay.
Like itch.io.
I mean, a lot
GameJolt.
of Steam reviews have the same problem,
Yeah.
but I feel like people put more effort into the Steam reviews in
Yeah.
general, so it's
Yeah.
less harsh.
Yeah, it's true.
because you get downvoted if you just like put your link
Yeah.
there.
Yes,
There's
you got to put some work into your
Yeah.
fakeness.
exactly. Exactly.
It's all just a veil for pay attention to my thing. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's I mean what I've done before is because there's certain like YouTubers or even whatever on Facebook that I follow, and I'll comment every once in a while, like not even just because it's just how I am, and I've gotten like on Facebook discussions with people, and I have actually gotten a couple of subscribers through doing that. Where either I
Yeah.
tell them like, oh yeah, I also have a channel because it comes up in our Facebook stream conversation, or it's just that they actually happen to click on my profile, and my YouTube channel is like on my public profile. So like I literally made a friend on Facebook, and we've met up in real life and talked, and it was cool. Where it was just literally like he saw me because I made a comment on a mutual like celebrity that we liked, and he happened to see that I had a YouTube channel, and then he just connected with me, and we've been talking like weird stuff like that. And so I don't know, there's other ways to do it.
It's like every
It's like meeting a guy in the
time
desert.
YouTube
I know.
every time YouTube puts out a video, it's like here's the 101 to being successful. It's always like,
yeah.
come on, other videos, interact with other
Yeah.
content producers, and so there's two things about that. One, that's why you get a lot of people doing sub for sub stuff. Okay, I commented.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, nice
YouTube
video.
tells me that
That's
means
like
you have to subscribe to me now.
so many
Yeah,
comments. Hey,
video.
nice
It's
video.
like,
Like-
you didn't even watch the video. and two, it's I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Because I'm either working
Yeah.
or making content.
That's
I don't have
true.
time to interact with the community, as it were.
It's true. It's hard.
Yeah, I think it's kind of we're on the back end of the YouTube. It's hard for
Little
it's hard
late
for
to
the
the game.
It's hard for the it's if you're late, it's a tough fucking grind. Hopefully there's some new platform, but like the moment they announce that, everyone's just gonna upload their shit there. Like there's
Yep.
no.
Yes.
We'll just be behind there. I don't know. I'll just be behind there too. I'm sure you guys are wherever you are, but
Well,
yeah.
Char was talking about a new site last week called Minds, which is supposed to be, like a website with free speech is all the rage.
great.
Yeah.
And so a
lot
lot
of
of
Ann
alt-right.
Coulter's gonna be
instantly-
there.
Yes, basically the site is Ann Coulter's and content producers. That's kind of it.
Great. Well, maybe you'll give it a shot.
It's- yeah, I need to diversify my fan base, get some hardcore conservatives in there. That's what I want to
Not
attract.
sure if they'd like my show.
So yes,
Yeah.
you guys want to wrap up?
I'm cool.
Yeah, I actually have to go in like pretty soon. So
Okay.
Good timing.
Good timing.
yeah, this works out.
So we were talking about self promotion, right?
Oh yeah.
This is the time. Sarah, if people want to find you playing a lot of your tentacle visual novels, where can they find you?
Why are you so terrible? I'm under Sarahscopic, SARAHSCOPIC. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. If you literally just type in Sarahscopic on Google, you will find me. It's pretty wonderful that way. Hit me up. I talk to you people. I try to at least.
Foehamner, where can
Easiest way
people
to
find
find-
your hipster indie games?
The easiest way is to follow the link in the description below.
I won't put the link in the
Best
description
way,
below,
'cause,
so you just have to say.
Google my name. If you Google my name, it's not going to come up. So it's probably the best way. I don't know, but if you want to type out long URLs, it's like youtube.com/c/Foehamner or whatever, etc. But yeah, I'm online most places you can find me.
And that is FOEHAMNER. He likes to be
Thank you.
difficult.
I think he just likes ham.
I do like ham.
yeah, we should hang out sometime, dog.
Bacon form, yeah. I've been meaning to go to San Francisco.
You are
I've
in
been
San
to
Francisco,
New York
right?
City.
You are
That'd be cool.
And R2Deepu, where
Yeah,
can
we're-
people
we're-
find you?
Yeah.
They can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at R2Deepu, R2Deepu. That's my handle. That's also my Twitch handle as well. I kind of just stream whenever I feel like it. I kind of just put together a little monologue plan and we just go. And it's a fun time. And also my podcast, Geeks of New York. That's a video podcast and audio podcast. You can check that out. Love to have you guys on. You guys
Oh, that'd be awesome.
you guys are all really cool, and thank you so much for having me on, man. This was great.
Great. Thanks for
R2 Deep Throat is a
Enjoyed
song
having you.
by an
Mark.
artist named Amir.
It's about a
It's
lonely
a
droid.
It's,
Apparently.
it's a New York. They're from New York. Huh.
We're on
Metalcore.
to you.
Maybe it's
We're on to you,
me.
R2.
Maybe it's me.
Interesting. Let me see some
No,
images.
yeah.
Nope. Everything's
No.
clean. Everything's clean.
Oh.
Let me turn off the safe search for a bit. I am Pupunoob. On all the places. On the Twitters and the
P-U-P-U,
Facebooks.
not P-O-O-P-O-O.
Yeah.
Yes,
P-U-P-U.
P-U-P-U. It's
And O.
slightly less shittier. Okay, so yeah.
That's a pun.
This has been, I did a funny.
I actually kind of that's an idea. We should introduce each other next time. We should plug each other's channels. I like that.
Okay, let's do
Then I
that.
feel less like a shill.
Alright.
So yes, this has been episode 97 of the playonultra
Yep.
podcast. Thank you very much for watching and listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.